Maybe.
Might do a video on it in the near future, but shut up. That's coming.
Alright, let's talk about this kid. Johnny Test is an absolutely hated American-Canadian cartoon that ran for 6 seasons on Cartoon Network. And when I say hated, I mean really hated. To the point where anytime he spoke this forbidden title, people would respond with, "Why did you say that name?" But why is that? Why did an innocent kids show get so panned when it came out? Why are there so many literal rants on YouTube about it? If it's just a show for kids, then why do so many actual IMDb reviewers feel so personally offended by it? And most importantly, was it really that bad? Okay, I'm gonna start this off with something maybe controversial, which I know is a bold move, but this is the same thing, so whatever. I like Johnny Test. What the? What? Hear me out. I mean, come on, it's just Johnny Test. A story about a flaming-headed kid and his talking dog. Why do people even care that much to hate on it? You're pretty much getting exactly what you signed up for. What do you want? How can you like Johnny Test? Okay, there's literally so many things going on in the world right now. Why do you care about my opinions on Johnny Test? Because it's blasphemy. It goes against the established order. The established cult. Look at that. You're supposed to hate it like everyone else. I mean, it's not necessarily good, but I don't know why people feel this strongly about it. There's been countless other bad cartoons, yet for some reason this one feels more personal, for literally no reason. And to figure this out, I rewatched a bunch of old episodes, because I used to watch this when I was younger, so I wanted to know what my older, more experienced IQ of storytelling had to say about it. Pick my book in the description below. And honestly, it still wasn't that bad. I figured watching it now that I would really hate it just like everyone else. Because back when I watched this as a youngster, I had no idea it got hated on so much. And actually, it was only till a couple years ago that I actually realized that. But again, it wasn't that bad. It was just dumb fun. And I do mean really dumb fun. But fun nonetheless. Except for this weird whip crack sound effects I never noticed when I was younger.
Like 5-minute dance parties and seeing our butts from space. Spin it, spin it, spin it.
Seriously, someone in the editing room went overboard or just accidentally put it on loop 50 times in one scene. And for the most part, the movement is very straightforward, hypnotizing kids into watching it. Kind of like how I hypnotize my audience into subscribing. But other than that, it was just fun. No, you're supposed to hate it. I mean, look at this kid. He has such a punchable face and never learns anything. Well, that is definitely true. I never really realized as a kid how unlikable the main character, Johnny, was. Throughout the series, he just seems like a manipulative child, and I guess you could say that's just his personality. Yeah, sure, whatever that means. But when you do the same thing over and over again for 6 seasons, it gets so repetitive and just annoying at times. Now, there are some good legit moments where he actually seems to care about his family. Like when some nerds at school bash on his sister's inventions, and he wants to get back at them to defend his sister's honor. Or even when his sister turned themselves into babies. Yeah, that was the storyline. But anyway, he has to climb a roof and do a bunch of other things to protect them. But other than these small moments, he only seems to ever care about himself. And he never really grows or changes over the course of an episode to become a better person. Say it with me now, kids. This is called a character arc. Yeah, there's none of them in here. And if you're going to have a character like this in the forefront, then you need someone to back them up. One of the main reasons why SpongeBob connected with audiences was because of the connection between SpongeBob and Squidward. They acted as a link between their 2 different personalities and were the heart of the show. But here, the side characters don't really do anything. You have Dookie, a talking dog, who is just your easygoing sidekick, and I do really like, but doesn't have a defining character. Then you have his sisters, who are just smart, then the workaholic mom, and his clean freak dad, and of course the legendary playboy, Bling Bling Boy.
It is I, Bling Bling Boy.
But none of them add really anything that special, so it's just left to Johnny looking like a selfish child the whole time. Seems like we finally turned you to the dark side. I mean, I hate Johnny Test weird cult. Normal side. Well, no, see, that's the thing. Even with those flaws, I can still find myself enjoying the show. Because in something like this, characters aren't really supposed to matter that much. It's more the adventures and situations they get themselves into. Obviously, having good characters can make them go into those legendary cartoons, among the likes of SpongeBob and regular show. But the whole time watching this, I couldn't help but see it as an innocent kids show. But there was something I was clearly missing, so I decided to look into it more. Yep, Detective Beane was on the case, and in almost every review I could find, people were claiming how it was a complete ripoff of the show called Dexter's Lab that ended in 2003. Then, it finally hit me. This was the Teen Titans Go of the 2000s. Think about it. They both are shows centered around extreme dumb fun, and both ripped off beloved shows and tried to pretend as if everything was the same with subpar versions. Although, the thing that made Teen Titans Go worse was that it was ripping off characters who had already been established and loved for years. Those deep and philosophical heroes turned into, well... So I can see how people would feel even more offended by that than just mediocre counterparts of another show. But then, I finally figured it out. Yes, Detective Beane finally uncovered the mystery. I found the true problem above all the others that made this turn into the most insulting and annoying show out there. The showtime schedule. Oh my gosh. I don't know what Cartoon Network was thinking, but they beat this show to the ground. I remember as a kid being on a lot, and I had no problem with it, but now I can tell how it eventually got on people's nerves. Someone at Cartoon Network really thought they had hit the jackpot with this show, somehow, that this would be their Spongebob, their marketable gimmick. And to be fair, Johnny Test does have a very recognizable design, but they forgot to follow it up with a good show. So for several years, the anger of the Cartoon Network fanbase, the hate flowing through them, the heck was that one Yoda quote?
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Yeah, that. So really, they all became syndrome in a way. Let the hate fester for years. And we also how he turned out. Stop typing to your Johnny Test cult. Oh, see, you have no idea what we went through, so your opinion is irrelevant. Again, we're literally the same person, and this is a calculator. I know you're sitting right there. Whatever, look, you shouldn't have any say in this. My cult of people hate this. The animation is mediocre, the characters are unlikable, it rips off Dexter's Lab, and it was overplayed and hogged every other spot in Cartoon Network. I know, and you're right. I've won. When did you turn into a supervillain? Look, this video is about me understanding why Johnny Test was so hated. It was never a competition. Then why'd you give your thoughts at the beginning of the video? That was the whole reason I randomly popped up. You know, this review is all over the place. Well, that's Johnny Test in a nutshell. Johnny Test is not a good show, but I have a soft spot for it, and since I didn't grow up in the golden age of Cartoon Network, it doesn't offend me as much as other people. Looking back in the show now, it is all over the place. No one ever grows. Apart from the first season, the animation is okay, and for the most part, it's just dumb fun. Really, really dumb fun. So, I didn't win? No. Then who did? I don't know. Not Cartoon Network, that's for sure. How are you gonna end this? You're not just gonna be lazy and use the same SpongeBob meme as last time, right? I don't know. I may just need to test some things out, right? Did you get it? Did you get it?
Oh, bro.